During the development of new technologies for the 2020 census during 2018, it was discovered that some of these technologies had accidentally left a back door through which hackers could access this information to modify or delete it. I pose that a reasonable social contract for the government to hold is the basic protection of our data, which they've obviously breached this contract. I think this is a reasonable contract considering the contents of the Fourth Amendment around protecting the government from any information that is specific, along with information theft laws. We basically have already set laws in place talking about how important our privacy and our data is to us. And so I think that expecting this privacy to be performed for the census is a very reasonable contract for the government to uphold. I think a big moral dilemma that comes along with this is the outsourcing of this. It says that the census used AWS to collect this data. Obviously, this is a problem. We can't involve these companies in massive personal data collection that can be very easily abused. You might ask, well, how can this data really be abused? Isn't it just statistics on this area? Let's say that an area was, I don't know, 40% Hispanic, but a hacker decided that they did not want that minority receiving that sort of representation in that area, because these numbers are often used to determine like representation numbers and whether the governments are actually assisting the people correctly. So a hacker could basically go in and modify the perceived level of representation that certain groups of individuals could have. So I think involving Amazon in this and using AWS to collect this data is very hazardous. You're basically allowing Amazon to put something in there to track this data or to monitor this data and send it back to Amazon, or does this data ultimately end up in Amazon's hands? There's a lot of problems. I think this can kind of be compared to the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, where Facebook allowed Cambridge Analytica to access their APIs, but then accidentally, let out too much information. I think the government allowing AWS to work with their databases might accidentally be letting out more information than they might think. And so I definitely think that the government has breached an obvious social contract through the dilemma of allowing third-party companies to compete in our very important data collection. So, thank you.